Good morning, fellow traders. Well, here it's time for the Good Morning Market Prep for Tuesday, June the 30th, 2020. It's the last day of June. I hope everybody had a great night last night. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we left off the market yesterday. So you can see SPX monthly chart, again, last day in the month, still green. Let's see if they can hold it there. Weekly chart. Okay, so we pushed down a little bit below the 30 weekly moving average. We didn't quite break down out of the inside week from last week on the SPX, but we came back up, held over the 30 weekly. So let's see if it tries to come back up and test the high end of last week. So that would be interesting. Daily chart, right? Everything is looking, super duper bearish, like big down candle since the Fed day, right? Three tops right here into the island top reversal. So we got some, big follow through the downside. But was it crash time? No, not yet, right? We're still holding the 200-day moving average, the 50 SMA, and the bottom of the trend box right here. And then below there you got the cloud. So there's a lot of little support levels right here. I mean, even the bottom of the cloud corresponds to this open gap here on the SPX too. So let's see what they have in store. Again, it's a short week this week, so we're seeing a little bit low volume come in, but we're seeing some interesting price action in some individual names, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. Let's take a look at the SPY. As you can see here on the SPY, once it pulls up, you see in the SPY less volume yesterday, but it was still a nice hold of its 200-day moving average. If we go to the, let's see how it's doing here pre-market here. So we're kind of just chopping around a little bit. So try to give a little bit of a drift up after hours, a bit of a pullback here this morning, and then working its way back up. Looks like it's in green territory right now. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. All right, so from last night, right, when we talked on the live streams, a couple of the things that we were looking at, right, is this right here, right? These geometric lines, this trend line, geometric line. We kind of held those pretty well, and then we ultimately broke down below those here. So you can see this key level is 30.50. That was a big area of interest, right? The scene of the breakout was tested, right? This is a big one from yesterday at the end of the day, right? So it's kind of random, right? There was the MOC was small and it just kind of broke out of these levels right here. So that was a key level that was tested last night. Right, price does like to return to the scene of the breakout, so that's one of the cool clues right there. And you can see we broke out of this here this morning, and obviously confirming above any sort of trend box line right here. So let's see how this holds going into today and into this morning, and where we end up by the open. So it should be interesting. There's a lot of key levels above that could be tested. Let's do the MES. Okay, obviously same thing, a couple interesting areas of interest right here. So if we do end up dropping, right, this 30-36 area would be interesting today. And again, let's see how it holds this going through into the open today. A couple of economic numbers today, and we've also got Powell and Mnuchin talking today, so that should be interesting. So we'll see what they say. I think it's around 12:30. So just look out for maybe some chop during that time and some fast swing moves. Don't forget today is not an expiration day on the SPY, so it's another thing to consider too. So good stuff there. So let's take a look and see how things are doing elsewhere. Let's take a look at the Qs. Okay, so Qs are chopping around a little bit here. Looks like they're a little bit green here this morning. Let's take a look at the IWM. Okay, so IWM is actually perking up a little bit here. So maybe there'll be some relative strength in the small caps today. So let's see how that goes. Let's take a look at Apple. Okay, so Apple's looks like it's down a little bit here this morning, but it did have a great bounce off of its upward trend line yesterday. Let's take a look at Tesla. Okay, so Tesla's up a little bit pre-market too. I love how it pushed out of its geometric line here. Let's see if we get some fall through the upside, and it did get an upgrade this morning. So I think it got upgraded to 1050 or something like that. Let's take a look and see if anything's on here. Nothing about it here today, but it did get there was a news of an upgrade here this morning. So let's see how that goes going in today, if it gets some relative strength and pushes to all-time highs. So good stuff on those. Let's take a look at a couple other key names. Facebook, again, it seems like every company is just removing their advertising from Facebook. So the real question is how can they recover from that, and does it matter? Right, so they bounced off the cloud yesterday after a nasty Friday. So we looked at this. We talked about this in the newsletter. This is a possibility. It's coming into some key technical levels. So now we just have to see if we get some follow through on this one and where it goes from there. It seems to be holding up actually pretty well this morning. So again, definitely something to keep an eye on right there. The fact that it's holding through losing a lot of its customers is pretty interesting. Boeing, huge day yesterday. It's down a little bit pre-market. I mean, it was just epic, right? Just like an epic push to the upside. So it's pulled back a little bit here this morning. Let's see how it goes. See if we can get over yesterday's highs. Again, my main concern with this was that we didn't get back over the upward trend line. So it was a great day. It's like, yay, you guys tested an airplane that should be working anyway. And so obviously they still bought it up on that one. At least it didn't have any major issues during the FAA test. So let's see if we get back above those levels and where it goes from there. Good. A couple other ones that are on the radar too. So we got Lulu. They announced a acquisition of a company that a mirror, I believe, that competes with Piton, and that got a real nice spike after hours yesterday. And it's actually drifting up a little bit higher here too. So that's pretty cool. Showing that they're interested in competing out there with other industries and companies. So. Piton though took a little bit of a hit yesterday, but not too bad. It's still above yesterday's low, so two ones to keep an eye on there. Obviously, another one to keep an eye on here is Micron and the semiconductors today. So see how those behave. It's holding up nicely after its strong earnings report yesterday. So definitely keep an eye on the other ones, AMD, Nvidia, even the SMH. See what's going on with those. Earnings this morning too. Conagra Foods. So this is an interesting one. Looks like it's spiking here pre-market too. And looks like they had a better than expected earnings report, so that's good for them. So keep an eye on that one, see if it gets a move. Chegg got a downgrade this morning, so it's down a little bit, couple little down ticks here this morning. So we're gonna keep an eye on that one. And then I believe Okta got a little bit of a downgrade, I think, this morning here. Yeah, BTIG downgrades Okta to neutral, but not really doing anything pre-market here. So, but something to keep an eye on. All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody has a great trading day today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at Lunchtime Market Update. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.